I'm going to explain why my kids no longer play team sports. And it might give you something else to think about. But first, let me just be clear that I think sports are a great outlet for all kids. I think kids should be even forced to play sports because it's so good for kids to learn how to move their body athletically. Now, with that said, sports can be very demanding on your time as a family. So it deserves some more consideration when considering whether your kids are going to continue to play team sports as they get older. I got to tell you what happened the other day, which is actually the reason behind why I'm making this video. So my kids are in cross country, okay? They run cross country, which is not really a team sport, even though they kind of compete as a team. But they're not, pushing people out of the way, shoving other runners down so that they can help their teammate get across the line fastest. So it's not really a team sport. All right, so anyway, they're on this homeschool cross country team that has actually been doing pretty well competing against the other private and public schools. So because of that, at the last practice, the coaches were almost chastising the parents by saying that we need to make a greater commitment to the team, that the kids are now going to double their practice from 2 days a week to 4 days a week, and there's no excuse for missing practice because, again, we need to double down on our commitment. And so because we had already discussed how much time, family time, we're willing to devote to other people, essentially, it was an easy decision for us, and we decided that my kids are not going to continue running cross country. Like I said, I've already thought a lot about this, and these are the 4 reasons why my kids generally do not play team sports once they become teenagers. Number 1, I want them to develop as individuals. Life is not a team sport. While there are a lot of lessons that they can learn playing team sports, ultimately, I want them to develop the ability to motivate and push themselves from within because they're not always going to have a team there pushing them on when they're older. And some kids are so busy with team sports that they don't even have time for jobs. And for me, I want my kids getting that type of experience when they become teenagers. I think that's a valuable thing for them in their development. And number 2, we need to protect our family time. I know some families that are so busy with kids and sports that they're pulled in different directions every night of the week with practices and games between different kids. A lot of those families would say that family is the most important thing to them, that they value family over anything else. But really the telltale indicator of what we value is where we spend our time. What are we doing with our time? If we're doing sports all the time, then we don't have time for that family togetherness. Number 3, parents are becoming too emotionally charged at kids' sporting events. You can hardly argue that it's a wholesome environment anymore. I don't want my kids feeling like they're responsible for other people's emotions because they put so much into whether their team wins or loses. It's really not an atmosphere that I feel like is good for my kids, and it's not consistent with my spiritual values to be in those types of settings. And the 4th reason is this. It might sound a little selfish, but while I know there are a lot of great coaches and a lot of well-meaning parents out there involved in youth sports, I want to be the primary influence in my kids' life. That is my job as their dad, and I don't want to do any outsourcing of that. I feel like I know them the best, and nobody has as much vested in their performance and their development into becoming a productive adult. Nobody cares more about that than me. Now, with all that said, I am very active and very involved in my kids' lives, and we do a lot of outdoor activities and athletic activities. And if you're not going to do those things with your kids, then by all means, yes, put them in sports, because in that case, sports is always going to be better than them not doing anything. So hopefully I've given you something to think about, especially if you already have kids who are playing team sports and you're feeling your family being pulled in different directions, or if you have younger kids who you're trying to decide right now whether you're going to have them continue in sports or not, because you know the demand on time and other resources is just going to increase. And you got to consider, do you want them committing more of their time and devotion to their coach and their team, or to their family, or to something else? And it's a tough decision to make. It didn't always used to be like this, but I mean, I think we can all agree that society these days is really just kind of obsessed with sports and sports culture. And so whatever decision you make, I just want people to think about it, have thought it through and know what the end objective is that they want for their kids, and really think about what's the best thing for them. And I forgot to mention, if you're too busy with sports, then kids don't have time to do chores and to learn responsibilities around the house. They don't have time to have family dinners, and you don't even have the option of going for family walks in the evenings. All those things are really valuable experiences for kids. And so we have to consider what we're making time for and what we're giving up. It's a tough decision that we all have to make as parents. But don't forget that it's always up to us whether we're going to follow the current culture or whether we're going to set our own standard and go our own direction. So I hope it works out for you. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.